So now it's time to meet the panellists for Loathe Island. We've already put loads of really interesting people, some horrible people, some bad people, and some downright just annoying people on Loathe Island. But today, I'm joined by Asher Gould, famously from, I don't know where I'm going to call you from originally, but
everywhere,
TalkSport legend.
Everywhere and nowhere.
Legend, everywhere and nowhere. Reem Ibrahim, who is, of course, a Conservative commentator, amongst many other things. Welcome to both of you. What do you think of the Loathe Island?
Loving it.
This would be a great flat.
It'd be
I'd like to live here.
Well, I just spent a month in Southeast Asia and it's giving me memories back,
That's
so
good.
I'm liking it.
That's good.
I like the cupboard that you can change your scenery.
And the thing, yeah, well, that's it. If you don't like the scenery, we can change it for you.
Man, wherever you want to be.
No matter what your view is, we can improve it.
So,
yeah, Ash, give us your first nomination.
Well, it's got to be Angela Rayner.
Angela Rayner.
I'm surprised no one's done this because, of course, she's benefited from... Well, she'll blame Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's her fault that she's been able to benefit from her own policy that she doesn't want everyone else not to benefit from.
Capital gains tax.
And she forgot that she didn't live there.
Yeah.
So, it's maybe she's evaded tax or avoided if she accidentally forgot. She forgot she was at that buffet,
She might have forgotten she was married because she spent the first 5 years of her married life living apart from her husband.
That's right.
And why wouldn't you?
Not remembered she was at a lovely buffet with 60 other people. I mean... poor thing, but if it's evasion...
She's got a bad memory, hasn't she?
Yeah, terrible.
It's all those raves she's been going to.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And all that vaping.
Yeah. If it's evasion, that's fraud and theft, and obviously there's no place for it. But
well,
yeah,
we're not saying she has...
No, but I'm saying if she knew about it, that's what it is, and if she didn't know about it, she's just... incompetent anyway.
But she might be right. But the point is that she can't just keep stonewalling everyone and not saying what it is that she's going to
And this is a tactic that people on the left use all the time. They use emotion. So I've seen clips of Angela Rayner where she's been pressed on this issue.
Yeah.
And she's gone off on a tangent about how her child was born prematurely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and she's from the north.
And she's from the north, and and her child was born prematurely, which again is very sad. But they use these emotive tactics to try and get people to stop asking questions.
And all this poverty cobblers, right? I mean, this is a woman who's claimed not just one set, two sets of Apple earbuds that she needs, apparently.
She's got 4 ears, has she?
She's got
four ears.
Well, you'd expect her to be doing more listening if she had 4 ears.
And she always has to travel first class on the train because she's from the north.
Yeah,
working class
and Margaret
girl.
Thatcher would have done that.
Exactly right. Also, she'll be glad to know that when she gets to Loathe Island, she'll be able to hang out with Sadiq Khan, who's already there, Angela Merkel, who's the other Angela, who's there. Prince Andrew's there as well. She'll probably enjoy that.
That's the wrong island for him, isn't it?
And Shamima Begum is also there.
Oh, she'll love that, won't
so she might get on pretty well.
If she gets out.
Reem, who's your first nomination?
Yeah, so my first nomination is the one and only Michael Gove.
Michael Gove. Everybody hates Michael Gove.
Everybody hates Michael Gove, but the thing is, what's interesting about him is he seems to still always stay in cabinet. He must be the longest-running minister.
He must have something on people.
He's cunning, isn't he? That's cunning. You can see he's got a cunning face. He's very cunning plan.
But he has implemented some of the worst housing policies that we've seen in this country.
And education policies.
But I want to talk about his housing policies because he is literally implementing Marxism in this country. Effectively, what he's doing is he's saying if you've got a second home, you're going to be taxed to the brim.
Yeah.
Unless you're Angela Rayner.
Unless you're Angela Rayner, then you can avoid it and you get a pass. If you're renting a home, if you're a landlord and you're renting out your home, you can't kick them out. So imagine if somebody is doing something bad and you have to then go through a whole lengthy court process to do that. Now,
loads of landlords are kicking out tenants now, which is, mate, we already got a rent crisis.
Preemptively. And also not only that, landlords are then just not going to take on young people or ethnic minorities or riskier tenants.
And mortgages have gone through the roof.
Exactly, it's awful. And Michael Gove is doing nothing to help that. He's a socialist, effectively, when it comes to housing
I think he is a socialist. I think he's actually a secret plant.
Well, he used to be in comedy with Badil and stuff, and they all pretend to be lefties, don't they?
Well, they do.
They're
and
not really,
he also admitted in the past, didn't he, when he was a journalist, that they used to snort the odd line of cocaine.
I'm fine with that. At least it shows he had a bit of fun.
All right. Also,
he didn't just say he had a good time.
He likes a bit of dancing on his own as well, doesn't he? Remember that stuff?
Well, he's got no choice, has he?
No. He's got no friends.
When he goes to Loathe Island, as we banish him there, he can hook up with Kanye West.
He can.
Who's also there.
I've heard they're good buddies.
I'm sure they have some similar things in common.
Yes, and he can also hang out with Guy Verhofstadt, who's also there because they've got a genuine love of the European Union. He keeps pretending. That he's actually a pro-Brexit, but he really isn't. Anyway, let's go with your next one.
Right, well, my next one...
This is a bit cruel, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is controversial. I didn't want to do it, but Chuck told me to do it, all right? Let's just make that clear.
We all do as Chuck says.
Yes.
OK, yeah, it's James Whale.
James
Whale's a guy I've worked with for...
Your co-host.
Yeah, but with 29 years, with an 8-year gap when he broke the broadcaster's code. And had to go on the run to the other place. But basically,
BBC.
it's well documented. He's the rudest man in Britain.
Yeah.
He invented
He's got an MBE now, though.
for rudeness on the radio, for shock jockery.
Services to shock jockery.
Yeah, exactly. He's been sacking me and telling me to shut up for 29 years, minus the 8 years, when
He
I had a
hasn't
lovely time
succeeded,
for
though.
8 years. It was all peaceful
You
and
had
pleasant.
freedom.
You don't get this on the radio, but he does a lot of big raspers in a confined space in the studio, and it can cause me. It's noxious, causes me long-term damage.
Yes.
And he wears loud and vulgar clothes. We all know that.
does.
But what you don't realise is that underneath he's got nothing on but ladies' shoes, and it's really off-putting.
Does he wear ladies'
High heels.
lingerie as well?
If you're lucky,
Yeah.
Like a
sometimes
little,
it's just
nice little push-up bra and a
well,
nice pair of high
he could do that, but
heels.
he's got a lady's
Basque,
legs. He's got a
perhaps?
lady's leg. He's got no hair on it. This is actually genuine.
right.
He's got no hairs on his. I don't know
He's
why.
got no hair on his head either.
No, I know that, but he's got a very
He
hairy
looks like,
chest.
like a naked cat, skinless cat.
Yeah.
with
He
no
does look
hair.
like a Siamese skinless cat.
Siamese cat.
He's
that's
good
what
if you've
they
got
are.
an allergy,
Cat,
James.
not skinless cat, hairless cat.
Hairless cat.
Oh yeah.
Skinless cat's something else.
Yeah.
That's like when you skin a cat.
tasty.
It's a skinless cat.
tasty.
You know. But I mean, he's been very good to you over the years.
Has he?
As well, hasn't he?
I think there was one day once, when he was. But no, we've
One
been all right. We've got a good chemistry, and once you sack people enough times, you just water off a duck's back.
You don't notice it after a while, do you?
I just come back the next day, and he forgets.
I mean, Reem, don't you think he's been a bit disingenuous to
I think so.
long-term pal?
Look, I think James Bell is brilliant, and I must say, my
It's
dad.
good you think that. It's clever how he does that.
My dad loves him.
Does he?
My dad grew up thinking he was the cool, especially with his like little fitness videos back in the day.
Oh, I don't remember those.
Well,
I don't remember.
I'm too
Thank
young
God,
to.
we gotta
I'm
watch
too young
those
to
on
know
that.
them. He did these fitness videos, and my dad remembers them. And so every time I've said I'm
That's
going
Jane Fonda.
to New Zealand, no, it's James Well. He did a little. I've seen it.
We've got to get these.
We've got to get these, yeah.
Chuck, we've got to get these.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. I mean, he has admitted in the past to being a DJ in a top shop, hasn't he? He's admitted, of course, he used to do that television show where he used to have like odd guests on. He was the first sort of proper
Jerry Hayes.
But he's just done everything, and that's why he's such a legend.
Yeah. But so when he goes to Loathe Island, he could get on with his other broadcasting friend, Carol Vorderman.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Well,
there.
they're old mates, actually. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
old mates from Leeds.
Well, he
Okay.
remembers
and Newcastle, I think,
before
but-
she went mad.
Before she went mad, and he
Right.
could have a word with her. He's done it all.
Maybe he
before
can
as well.
bring her back to her roots.
I think he was the one that actually put her into Loathe Island.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
Also, he could talk to William Shakespeare, who's been put in there as well, and Charlotte Church.
Oh, fantastic!
You know.
Because he loves church.
She does a good number now, and that's From the River to the Sea. So
Oh,
so-
from the river to the sea. The greatest hit.
it is.
With
Now-
Jimmy Begum as well.
Yeah, good. Now, Reem, I'm looking forward to this one. Jessica Seymour.
Yes,
Who can't
Jessica
even spell
Seymour.
Seymour.
Honestly, her name isn't even spelt correctly,
Right.
which is so
Seymour,
ridiculous.
isn't it?
Seymour, I know. But she pronounces it Seymour. She is the lawyer that led the case against the, in the European Court of Human Rights,
Yes.
using the ECHR to effectively say that this group of elderly women
Yeah.
have
Old Swiss women.
Old Swiss
Who knew that
women.
was a minority?
They're the oppressed minority,
Right.
and they have a human right against their human rights have been violated
Yes.
as a result of the lack of action by government
Unbelievable.
on the environment.
What a waste of time.
It's not only a waste of time, but I must say I've sort of changed my mind slightly. I think she's brilliant because what this does do is it means that the ECHR have now been totally discredited.
Yes, that's
so
true.
now we can actually leave it without people batting
because
an
now we
eyelid.
can see what they're all about. They're all
Exactly.
about making nonsensical judgments about
Exactly.
things over which we have no control.
It's
It's
like-
one of the things I argued about this the other day, because one of the things that they say is, well, the government haven't done enough, but they don't say what they should have done.
Yeah.
But they're
Because
not a
there's no
legislator.
measure.
This
There's
is
no measure
ridiculous.
of it.
Effectively, what we've done is we've given rights to an unelected court,
quango, yeah.
quango people that aren't elected, and they're able to act as legislators. This is incredibly dangerous,
Yes.
and of course, it's being permeated by all this woke nonsense.
Yeah.
Effectively saying that actually, and it's not even just woke. Sorry, it's actually damaging economically.
Well, it's
and
the
making
climate
people
nutters, isn't it?
poorer.
Anyway, you've got somebody, Ash, I don't even know.
Well, have you heard of Pavlov's dogs?
I have.
That's Ivor Pavlov,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Everyone goes on about
Are you going
what.
to take the dogs with him when he goes?
Well, he should have, but everyone goes on
I'm
about
not sure
how.
we have dogs on Loathe Island.
Well, maybe we'll see, but he doesn't actually need dogs. He uses. He basically.
Hamza Yusuf is there. He doesn't like dogs.
Does he not? Well,
No.
nor does Angela Merkel. Do you remember
No.
when Putin got the big dog?
Yeah.
But basically,
They're just going to be tortured.
Putin's also there.
he should go on it.
Yeah.
But he basically proved that if you ring a bell, you can make a dog salivate.
Right.
Right. So I don't know what that's all
I've
about.
got another way of making a dog salivate. Hold a bit of bacon in front.
Yeah, well, that's what he
Don't
did. He
ring the
held the
bell.
bacon, then he ring the bell, and then he could ring the bell, and it was salivate. But then what he did, everyone goes, "Oh, isn't this brilliant?" He just proved dogs can salivate. But actually, what he did, if you see the pictures, because there's pictures from 1890, he drilled a thing in the dog's cheek. He measured it by it falling into a cylinder.
Oh.
And then, worse than that, they don't talk
comes out
about
of the
this
mouth,
about Pavlov when they're all going about how great he is. He went to an orphanage and got loads of orphans and drilled it into their cheek.
No. Right.
So everyone stopped going on about Pavlov's dog and how great he was, because all he did was hurt orphans and prove dogs salivate from the bell.
He's evil.
I've never heard of Pavlov's orphan before.
Yeah, no one talks about Pavlov's
no
orphans.
one talks about it.
Is it the same thing if you wave some bacon in front of an orphan?
Yeah, and then you ring a
Start
bell and then you don't have the bacon, the orphan dribbles.
No, obviously not a Muslim
no,
orphan.
Unfortunately
Dribbling
not.
orphans.
Crikey.
Terrible.
That is shocking. He sounds a real nasty
What a
piece of
scumbag.
work.
He should be the king of Loathe
Well, he
Island.
may be the worst of a lot of people in there, because some of the
I feel a
worst
bit
people,
unserious now.
some of the worst people.
very serious.
Henry VIII is in there, by the way.
Is he?
Dylan Mulvaney is also there.
Fair enough.
Justin Welby, the Archbishop
Deserves
of
it.
Welby.
The former oil trader.
Yeah, we've got,
Former old trader
Good
gone
qualification.
rogue.
Good
Klaus
qualification.
Schwab is in there
Oh,
from
yeah.
the World Economic
Schwab,
Forum,
yeah.
obviously. Who else have we got? Meghan Markle as well. I mean,
Oh.
it's a real...
She's
Wow.
trying to turn it around now, isn't she?
Could
by
you
giving,
imagine having to... I think a great way to talk to people is to be on that island, on Loathe Island.
I think it's brilliant. So let's go with your last one then.
Yes,
Bit of
my
history.
last one, a bit of history. Clement Attlee, who was the Prime Minister directly after Winston Churchill's first premiership after the Second World War. And Clement Attlee has set the ways for a whole host of terrible socialist policies that we still see to this day.
Yeah.
The NHS, for example, the National Health Service
Well, it was a good
founded.
idea at the time.
I disagree. I
Right.
think that socialised monopoly on healthcare, effectively governments telling you what you can and cannot do with your own bodies, I think is a terrible idea today as much as it was back in the 40s. The Town and Country Planning Act, which effectively means that we can't build any homes at the moment. So Clement Attlee paved the way. And people look at
This
him
is great
and talk
news for
about him
Rishi
as a hero.
Sunak, by the way. He can just blame Clement Attlee for everything.
Well,
and say it was all his fault.
He's not changed
Good idea.
anything, is the
Right.
point. You've got 14 years of Conservative government,
Yeah.
and none of this stuff has been changed.
I mean, Clement Attlee hasn't really been in for quite a long time, has he? Like, because 74 years.
Well, this is the
thereabouts.
point. Clement Attlee paved a lot of his policies. The NHS and the Town and Country Planning Act are the two examples I gave,
Right.
because they are, I think, some of the most disastrous policies that we see today.
Yeah.
We spend just below £200 billion a year on the NHS, and people still view it as this sacred cow. They pray
and
to
they
it
still
every
say it's not
day.
enough money.
Not got enough money.
We've got
People
2
are
million
saying we
staff
need
now.
more.
Yeah.
We need more. And then you've got the Town and Country Planning Act, which means people keep blocking house building, which means that we can't afford our own homes,
Right.
which means the UK is incredibly uncompetitive. So Clement Attlee is the OG socialist, and we've got people like Keir Starmer now who are going to follow in his footsteps.
He took in refugees, though. He was at least a conviction politician. He believed in the rubbish he said.
Yeah, he did. And Aaron Bevan is also in there, the guy who created...
Oh,
the
they'll
NHS,
get on. They'll
they'll
best
get
So there were
on.
only about 4 operations
And
you could have
also,
back then.
and Tony Blair is also in there as well, so they can have a nice
Okay,
little
well,
chat
they'll have
about
a little
how
reunion.
the Labour Party was able to sort of move forward and be...
Turn
Next
into the
time
Tory
we get
knife.
Keir Starmer in there together, they can have a little reunion, can't they?
Yeah, amazingly, Keir Starmer's actually not in here. Emperor Nero is in there.
That's a good one.
And so's Madonna.
Keir Starmer's not really
Madonna?
hateful, is he? He's
A lot of people don't like her.
Not much to him, is
Who,
there, Keir
Starmer?
Starmer?
Yeah,
Not
It's
much
like
to
a
hate.
wet
He
piece
just-
of cardboard.
He is like
Just boring,
completely
isn't he?
and utterly...
Boring.
Yeah.
He could be a cardboard cutout.
Yeah, a
Maybe
glass
he is.
of water for
Glass
a
of water,
personality.
yeah.
AI generated. That's what it
Yes.
is.
It's absolutely right. Well, Reem Ibrahim and, of course, Asher Gould, thank you very much indeed.
That's
Some
all right,
great
mate.
additions now to Loathe Island. We're really getting up there. We've got loads of people there now. Might have to build some houses. Don't talk to Michael Gove about it, though, or indeed Clement Attlee.
Or Angela Rayner.
Or
She'll
Angela
sell it
Rayner.
for a profit.
No, she wants all the houses that are on Loathe Island.